now, your host, Clayton Harrison.
Good evening. How are you all doing? So glad to have you all here tonight. Tonight we're going to be having an evening of entertainment. It's based around the theme of greed. Now, greed's a funny thing, isn't it? Everyone gets it. We've even made sayings about it. My eyes were too big for my belly. Bitten off more than I can chew. Now, I'm going to share with you tonight a couple of stories about how greed can come back on you. The first one is how greed can make you look a fool. Now, a few years ago, I lived in a house with a lodger. And the lodger had taken a shine to a girl at the local cafe who was waitressing. One morning, he came and found me. He said, I'm going to ask her out today. Will you come and wingman for me? I said, no. He said, I'll get you the biggest breakfast they do. And I already had my trousers on, because I'm a greedy bastard too. So we go down there. And sure enough, he was as good as his word. He ordered 2 of the biggest breakfasts they did. I'm tucking in. Shoot your shot, man. He took 1 piece of fried bread and he put 1 of everything on his breakfast on top of this piece of bread. 1 sausage, 1 bacon, 1 beans, 1 mushroom, 1 egg. And the egg was the last one to go on. And I'm looking at the egg and I've clocked the runny yolk. And I thought, all right, let's see where this goes. Sure enough, the second piece of fried bread goes on top. Oh, he's gonna do it. Just as the girl in question came past our table, he picks up this sandwich, this behemoth of a butty. He took 1 bite out of it and the entire yolk emptied itself directly up his left nostril. No. Leaving him going, hilarious. Shoot the shot, man. You've got her attention. Get her number. Go on. But it can also come back on you in other ways. If you are a greedy bastard, it makes you predictable, which leaves you open to being abused by people like me. I go carp fishing with a group of lads, and we kind of got into a prank war last year. And my friend and I decided that we were going to take advantage of the other 2 lads' greed to sting them with one of our pranks. So what we did was we got 15 Carolina Reaper chilies. And we made a chili. And then we made a pot of bolognese sauce. And we went fishing. And we sat there and my friend and I were tucking into our bolognese. Sure enough, they've come over. What's that you got there? Alright, that's chili. You couldn't handle that. Oh, go on. No, you couldn't handle that. Go on, give us a bit, give us a bit. So, we sorted them a bowl. And both of them fought their way through every last spoonful, sweating, snot, tears. Yeah. It was the most glorious thing to behold. But this was the gift that keeps on giving, because greed, it's like that. One of them threw up about 10 minutes later and went through so much hell that the other one decided he wasn't ever going to take a poo again in his life. But he was wrong. He managed to hold out to the second day, 3/4 of the second day to be exact, before he fell victim to the revenge of the chili and had to drive home in his soiled trousers. Would you believe I've forgotten to press my stopwatch? So, I'm going to entertain you with some of my other stand-up now. Might not surprise some of you after hearing that story to find out I'm the uncle that never gets asked to babysit.
Real.
See, kids are like skydiving. Do it once or twice, it can be fun. Keep it up, it's going to kill you. Fact. My sister, she's got 4 boys. She only wanted a girl. If she has 1 more boy, the council's going to move her into a shoe. And she came to me and she said, will you babysit the younger 2? I said, what am I going to do with the younger 2? She says, just stick them in front of a film, they'll be all right. I said, what film? She says, you know, the one with the hotel and all the scary monsters. Well, it turns out she meant Hotel Transylvania.
Oh my God, no.
Those boys did not enjoy The Shining very much. She came to me about the older two. She said, I've had enough of those two, she says. They take up a hobby, they do it 5 minutes, they want all the expensive equipment, they bankrupt me, empty my bank account, and then they jack it in 5 minutes later. I've had enough, she says. I just wish they'd start something. They don't quit. I think I can help you out there, sis. What's my budget? She says £100 each. Crack. I got on crack. She went mad. But in fairness, it's been 3 years and they're both still bang at it. My brother's got a couple of kids as well, and I'm not allowed around there either. But this one wasn't my fault. This one wasn't my fault. I was trying to behave myself. I went round for a cup of tea. The youngest one, he came up to me. He said, Uncle Clayton, he says, what's the difference between a turtle and a tortoise? It's a reasonable question, but it's only equal. So I thought I'd better simplify my answer. So I said, well, boy, your turtle, he can swim underwater. And he can hold his breath for a really, really, really long time. And your tortoise, well, he can't. Didn't think no more of it, went back downstairs. Finished my cup of tea, went home. An hour later, the brother's on the phone, fuming. Turns out he's just been up to the bathroom, found my nephew in tears, having just confirmed that what his family had was in fact a tortoise. So he goes, kids take things literally, I'm not responsible for that. But the one that got me banned from there was his eldest. He just passed an exam, he just got an A star, and he was crowing. So, oh, my boy's the smartest in the family, he's the smartest. So he's not the smart one. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, didn't you tell me last year your youngest stopped kissing his mum goodnight for a couple of days? He says, yeah. We never did find out what that was about. So, yeah. That's because you're not the smart one either. I said, what day did that start, mate? He said, well, that was on my birthday. I was like, so you got one kid that can pass an exam and another one that knows not to kiss mum the day of Dad's birthday, and you think the one that got an A is the smart one? Come on, mate. Right, you've got a fantastic evening of entertainment ahead of you tonight. We've got sketches, we've got music, Hametta's in the house. So I want you to put all your hands together and welcome the Greedy Bustards.